I'm fearing the worst for this guy because they absolutely screwed over Sebastian Vettel at Red Bull even after 4 World Championships, kicked him on the curb, and I've got a funny feeling they're going to do it with Verstappen.
Peter.
Ladies and gents, where does Max Verstappen go now? I've got this funny feeling Red Bull are going to do him over. Yeah, Red Bull are going to do this guy over, I'm telling you. Okay, let's get up to speed here, right? Quite a bit to talk about Verstappen. Firstly, congratulations to Red Bull and Verstappen. Utter, sheer dominance from that Red Bull team this year. I mean, I think it'll be hard to argue with anyone on this one. I think that was probably the greatest performance by an F1 team ever. Now, I'm not speaking about driver. I'm not speaking about just a specific team. I'm speaking just as a whole unit, team, driver and team together. I mean, it was unbelievable. It really, truly was unbelievable. What is he now on? 13 fucking wins? And there's 5 races to go left in the 2023 season. He could probably score another 4. Fuck it. He could score another 5. Another 5 races this year. They are that dominant. It's unbelievable. So congrats to Red Bull, guys. It was unreal. 3-time world champion for Verstappen. Man, it only seems like 2 minutes ago when he scored his first one against Hamilton in Abu Dhabi, right? Man, that feels like literally 2 seconds ago. Well, I'm fearing the worst for this guy because they absolutely screwed over Sebastian Vettel at Red Bull even after 4 World Championships, kicked him on the curb, and I've got a funny feeling they're going to do it with Verstappen. I really do, guys. Because Red Bull are very geared towards the young driver coming in. Okay? It really does, well, I suppose you could say, sell t-shirts, sell baseball caps, sell fucking merchandise as much as you can. It really does help them to push forward and, well, start earning revenue from their drivers. And definitely, it's a great marketing tool as well. You've got the young guys, this is that. I mean, Vettel was a child. Verstappen was a child coming into Red Bull. The two of them were. Sebastian Vettel hits four World Championships and he's booted out. Why? Wouldn't you think that you're going to feel pretty happy with having that guy in your team from now on? You can rely on him. He's winning races for us. He's winning championships for us. Wouldn't you stick to that guy? That, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, and which is understandable for a lot of teams, if you got a new driver coming into Formula 1 or into your team, you don't know if they're going to buck under the pressure or if they're just going to find it hard and they're just not fucking performing. So, what do? You hang on to the guy that you've had. And Vettel seems like a nice guy, okay? But you know what, guys? Even if Sebastian Vettel was an asshole, which I honestly don't think he is, but let's just say he is. Even if he was an asshole at Red Bull, I ain't getting rid of him. The guy's giving me results. He's bringing food to the table here. He's getting the job done for you. I'm not getting rid of Vettel after winning 4 championships. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, he won 4 championships in a row, back to back to back to back. Bang, done, job done. Elvis has left the fucking building. Why would you get rid of him? You know what I mean? Like, do you see where I'm going here with this? Now, look, there was also a bit of shit with Schumacher and Ferrari back in the day too. Would you believe it or not, guys? Maybe a lot of people don't know that. But they were getting a bit sick of the whole, well, look, you know, I think it was more just they were spending so much money. And I think victory defeats people when you get to a certain stage, guys, you know, and it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody out there. You can get fucking lazy. You know, you think, and maybe Ferrari wanting Schumacher out and maybe Red Bull wanting Vettel out, maybe this is going to happen to Verstappen that, oh, hey, buddies, We're bigger than the driver here. We can have any driver in our seat and we'll win a championship. And they'd be right, guys, especially with Red Bull now. I mean, listen, I'm sorry now, any Verstappen fans out there. By the way, I am a Verstappen fan myself, so you can't have a go off me off this one. But guys, if you put 95% of the F1 drivers into Verstappen's car, they're going to kick ass. Now, maybe, just maybe, if you put anybody else in the car, okay, they could keep going for the year and all of a sudden they buckle under the pressure of the championship. Well, that's a different day, different story. And perhaps that's true. But you put 95% of these guys into the car, they're going to be winning the races. All right? And I'm not going to go off Verstappen off that. It's just the reality of the situation. So the thing is, maybe victory is defeating Red Bull here. They think, oh, this is it, buddy. We can do this. No problem at all. Listen, we don't need Verstappen anymore. I personally think it's not necessarily that. Because I do think a good team are going to hang on to the guy that's giving you the results. That's what you're there for at the end of the day. That's what you're there for at the end of the day. To win races and win the championship. Now, they had that with Vettel, and all of a sudden Vettel's gone. Very, very strange, guys. Very strange. So I don't think that that's what the biggest motivation is. I think it's more they want the young driver in the team. They want the young driver in the team. Like I said, it sells hats, fucking t-shirts, whatever, sunglasses, I don't know, whatever they have, merchandise-wise. So, I mean, how old is Verstappen? Let me just Google that actually, guys, as I'm speaking to you here. Because I think Verstappen is, I think the last time I checked, he is 25? 26. 26. So he ain't the young fella anymore, guys. You know, in terms of, like, comparing a 17-year-old. Because they love that now. Even a 17-year-old coming in, kicking ass, dominating, boom. Looks great. I personally think if they're on form next year, I think they're going to keep him, right? And now I think he's got his contract up until 2026, which is a fucking long contract. But trust me, guys, contracts can be broken. Contracts can be broken. You don't want him in your team anymore. Sorry, sir. Pack your bags. You're done. Good luck. So anything could happen here. Now, will they hang on to Verstappen? I personally reckon, let's just assume that I'm wrong on everything I'm saying here today. If they hang on to Verstappen, they would probably hang on to him until after, if he wins 5 championships. Because then they'd have beaten Vettel's record. And I do think that would interest them. They would definitely like to match, but definitely they'd love to beat their previous record. Because to them, and I know this as a driver in a team, that shows progression. You've gone, oh, we're better than before, guys. So if anything, if I'm wrong on everything here, they'll hang on to him until after the 5th World Championship, and that's if they win a 5th World Championship. Adrian Newey is a goddamn genius. I mean, that guy's designed the most unbelievable car. It's incredible. It's going to be hard to beat these guys next year, even with these budget caps guys in. Even with the budget caps in, it's going to be so hard to beat them. And they do struggle from every now and then on certain tracks. But like even Singapore, that was their worst race this year. And now I personally think it was down to the smoothness of the track. It was bumpy. It just didn't suit the Red Bull's balance. And now, to be fair, a lot of other drivers did terrible at Singapore anyway. So it was almost like a complete shift. The guys that were down at the back of the grid, they were going up to the top of the grid at Singapore. And the guys that were doing normally well, they were down at the back or midfield. So it was very hard to judge, but it gives you an idea of where the cars are at, guys, you know, balance-wise. It's so important to have a good balanced car. And to be fair, those Formula 1 cars should be able to drive over bumps, you know what I mean? Like Singapore is a very bumpy track, but they should be able to handle it no problem. It just goes to show you, really, how sensitive the cars are. And, you know, one one bump in the road, literally one bump in the road, can knock your whole car off balance. So it just goes to show how sensitive those cars. Anyway, getting a little sidetracked on that one there. So yeah, guys. Anyway, just a quick one today, and I do think keep an eye out for Verstappen, and you can see it in Christian Horner's face. He's got this kind of. There's something not right with Christian Horner. He looks restless. He doesn't look at ease at the moment. And why? Everything's going really, really well. Now, yes, when they actually win the race, guys, you can see me smiling and all, right? But if you watch him going around the pit lane, he's not very friendly to Verstappen right now. He has his moments, of course, but I think there's something building in Christian Horner here that they might boot him out of the team. I don't think it's going to be next year. I think it could be the year after. But we will see. We will see. Because why get rid of Sebastian Vettel when you're winning 4 World Championships in a row? And you're getting rid of him? What the hell? Isn't this your whole goal? Win races, win championships, like I was saying a few minutes ago? So, it'll be interesting, guys. Where does Verstappen go? Hard to know. Okay, let's say he does actually, before we close off, where does he go after this? Well, Mercedes definitely don't want him. I honestly reckon that. They do not want Verstappen. There's no attraction for them. It would be like Hamilton going to Red Bull. There's no attraction for Hamilton at Red Bull. Or Ferrari. I think, would Verstappen go to Ferrari? Probably. Schumacher did it. Went from... not from Red Bull to Ferrari. What am I saying? Vettel did it, sorry. He went from Red Bull to Ferrari. That's probably his only real option for Verstappen if he decides to stay, which he did mention he might retire at the end. Yes, I don't think he'll want to stay around for very long. I think he's in, out, and he's done. Like, that's his own preference too, so not necessarily that he'd decide to retire in 2 years' time if he gets 5 World Championships. No. I think Red Bull will probably shift him before anything. But where is he going to go? I mean, Alfa Romeo, can't see it happening. Aston Martin, can't see it happening. Ferrari, I can't see it happening. Even though it's the only option, really. Mercedes, not a hope in hell. Toto Wolff wouldn't have him on board at all. No way. No way. So I think it's either Red Bull or nothing for him. Ferrari would probably bring him in. I just don't see him doing well there. He won't be their golden child. So... interesting to see what's going to happen, guys. So, next race coming up, Houston, America. We're going to do a preview on that beforehand, but I think Verstappen's going to have a real good advantage around there. I think that car is going to go really well around there, especially with the shape of the corners, you could say, really. But we'll get into that again anyway before the race, guys. All right, so that's it. Bon voyage, everybody. Farewell, and thanks for listening today. Bye. Peter. Walsh.